The letter arrived on a Tuesday. I was expecting a check. I was expecting my $2,000 security deposit back. I had scrubbed that apartment until my knuckles bled. I had filled every nail hole. I had even replaced the drip pans on the stove. But when I opened the envelope from my landlord, Mr. Henderson, there wasn't a check. There was a bill. He wasn't just keeping my $2,000. He was demanding an extra $450 for professional deep cleaning and wall restoration. I called him immediately. I said, "Mr. Henderson, the apartment is in better condition than when I moved in." He laughed. It was a wet, wheezy laugh. "Listen, kid," he said. "You left dust on the ceiling fan blades. That's a biological hazard. And the carpet had a weird smell. Honestly, I should be charging you double. If you don't pay the $450 by Friday, I'm sending it to collections and wrecking your credit score. Welcome to the real world." He hung up. He thought he was teaching me a lesson about the real world. He thought because he owned 6 buildings and I was just a tenant, that he held all the cards. But Mr. Henderson made a mistake. He didn't know that my day job isn't just office work. I'm a project manager for a restoration company. I know what things cost. And more importantly, I know the local housing code better than he does. He wanted to keep my $2,000 to pay for his golf fees? Fine. By the time I was done with him, he didn't just pay me back. He paid for my 2-week vacation to Bali, first class. Let me tell you how I turned a greedy landlord's invoice into an all-expenses-paid tropical getaway. If you've ever had a landlord act like they're doing you a favor by letting you pay them rent, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And smash the like button if you want to see a slumlord cry in court. Let me know in the comments, what's the most ridiculous thing a landlord has ever charged you for? A light bulb? A scratch? Let's get into the story. To understand why this victory tasted so sweet, you have to meet Mr. Henderson. Mr. Henderson was the type of landlord who would paint over a cockroach rather than exterminate it. He drove a 1998 Cadillac that smelled like cigars and entitlement. I moved into his unit, the garden suite, which was actually just a damp basement, because I was saving for a house. The rent was cheap, but the cost was my sanity. The first red flag was the lease signing. He didn't use a computer. He used a carbon copy form from 1990 that he bought at a hardware store. "I don't trust the internet," he told me, licking his thumb to count my cash deposit. "Cash only for the deposit. Keeps the taxman's nose out of my business." I asked for a receipt. He scribbled "paid" on a napkin. I insisted on a real receipt. He grumbled but wrote it out on the lease. Living there was a nightmare. In December, the heater broke. It was 40 degrees inside. I called him. "Put on a sweater, Alex," he said. "Parts are on back order." They weren't on back order. He just didn't want to pay the emergency rate for the plumber. I spent 3 days shivering until I threatened to call the city. He finally came over with a space heater from 1985 that looked like a fire hazard. Then there was the plumbing incident. The shower drain clogged, not because of my hair, but because the roots from his oak tree had crushed the pipes. He tried to blame me. "You used too much shampoo," he accused, staring at the standing water. "Mr. Henderson, it's tree roots," I said. "Nonsense. I'll pour some bleach down it." He poured bleach. It did nothing. I had to shower at the gym for a week. So, when my lease was finally up, I was ready to run. I wanted my $2,000 deposit back so I could put it toward a down payment on a new place. I knew he was stingy, so I prepared for war. I spent 2 days cleaning that apartment. I'm talking toothbrush on the grout level cleaning. I patched the holes from my pictures. I repainted the wall where my couch had rubbed against it. I even hired a carpet cleaner to steam the floors, just to be safe. I took photos. Hundreds of them. Every corner, every drawer, inside the oven, behind the toilet. I took a video walkthrough holding that day's newspaper to prove the date. Then came the final walkthrough. Mr. Henderson showed up an hour late, chewing on a cigar. He didn't even look at the floor. He walked in, tapped the wall, and sighed. "Well," he said, "it's acceptable. So, I'll get my full deposit back?" He wouldn't look me in the eye. I have to check the inventory. I have to do the deep inspection. You know how it is. Statutes give me 30 days. The place is spotless, Mr. Henderson. We'll see, he grunted. Leave the keys on the counter. I had a bad feeling in my gut, but I had my photos. I figured he might try to nick me for $100 for a cleaning fee. I wasn't expecting the invoice for $2,450. Let's look at this list he sent me. Carpet replacement, $1,200. Claim, pet urine smell. I don't own a pet. Repainting entire unit, $800. Claim, unauthorized paint color. I used the exact white paint he left in the closet. Ceiling fan cleaning, $150. Claim, excessive dust buildup causing motor strain. Admin fee, $300. He kept my $2,000 and demanded $450 more. I sent him a certified letter disputing the charges. I included the photos. I included the receipt for the carpet cleaner. He replied with a text. See you in court. I have lawyers. You have nothing. Big mistake. He wanted court? Okay. I decided to prepare not just a defense, but an offense. I dug into the state housing laws, and I found 3 golden nuggets of information that Mr. Henderson, with his cash-only philosophy, had clearly ignored. Nugget has shown. The life expectancy rule. In my state, carpet has a useful life of 5 years for rental properties. I dug up the Zillow photos from when the unit was listed before me. The carpet was identical. I found the listing from 8 years ago. Same carpet. That carpet was 8 years old. Its value was $0. He couldn't charge me for replacing something that was fully depreciated. He was trying to get me to buy him new floors. Nugget #2, the bad faith statute. If a landlord retains a deposit in bad faith, like charging for items they know are wear and tear, they don't just owe the deposit back. They owe treble damages. That means 3 times the amount. Nugget #3, the kill shot. Remember how he took my deposit in cash and stuffed it in his pocket? The law says a landlord must hold a security deposit in a separate, interest-bearing escrow account. They cannot mix it with their personal funds. If they do, they forfeit the right to keep any of the deposit, regardless of damages. I had to prove he mixed the money. During the discovery phase of small claims, yes, you can request documents. I asked for the bank records showing my specific deposit being held in escrow. He sent back a screenshot of his personal checking account. It showed withdrawals for liquor store, Cadillac repair, and golf club dues. He had spent my deposit the day I gave it to him. I smiled. I wasn't just going to get my $2,000 back. I was going for the jugular. The court date arrived. Mr. Henderson showed up without a lawyer. Turns out, lawyers cost money, and he's cheap. He was wearing a suit that was too tight, looking bored. When the judge called our case, Henderson went first. Your Honor, he said, pulling out a grainy printed photo. This tenant destroyed my property. The smell, the filth. I had to renovate the whole thing. The judge looked at the photo. Mr. Henderson, this is a picture of a blurry carpet. Where is the receipt for the professional cleaning you claimed you did? Henderson stuttered. Well, my brother-in-law did it. Cash job. I see, the judge said. And the painting? Total loss. Had to be done. The judge turned to me. Alex, your response? I walked up with a binder, a thick, color-coded binder. Your Honor, Exhibit A. I said, video of the apartment on move-out day. As you can see, the walls are pristine. I played the video on the court monitor. The place looked like a museum. Exhibit B, I continued. Affidavit from the carpet manufacturer stating this specific weave was discontinued in 2015. The carpet is at least 10 years old. Value is 0. Henderson's face started turning pink. And finally, Your Honor, Exhibit C. I handed over the bank statement Henderson had sent me. State Law 805.2 requires deposits to be held in escrow. Mr. Henderson commingled my funds with his personal account. You can see here on October 12th, the day I paid my deposit, a withdrawal of $500 for Bali's casino. He gambled with my security deposit. The courtroom went silent. Even the bailiff looked up. The judge took off his glasses. He looked at Henderson. Mr. Henderson, did you spend this tenant's deposit at a casino? Henderson was sweating now. It's my money. I own the building. No, sir, the judge roared. It is not your money. It is the tenant's money held in trust. You have violated fiduciary duty. You have falsified damages, and you have wasted this court's time. Henderson shrank into his cheap suit. The judge started writing, aggressively. Judgment for the plaintiff. May. Return of the original deposit, $2,000. Statutory penalty for bad faith retention, 3x, $6,000. Court costs, $150. Interest, $350. The gavel banged. It sounded like music. Total judgment, $8,500. Pay within 30 days, or I'll authorize a lien on your property. Henderson looked like he was going to throw up. I walked past him and whispered, Should have just taken the keys, Mr. Henderson. Mr. Henderson tried to stall. He didn't pay in 30 days. So, I did exactly what I promised. I filed a lien on his apartment building. He couldn't refinance his mortgage until he paid me. 2 days later, a cashier's check arrived via FedEx. I didn't put that money into a savings account. I felt that money was found money. It was dirty money that needed to be cleansed by ocean water. I booked a flight to Bali. I spent 2 weeks living like a king. I stayed in a villa with a private pool. I got massages. I ate fresh seafood on the beach. And the best part? Every time I ordered a cocktail, I raised a glass and said, "Thanks, Mr. Henderson." Because if he had just been a decent human being, if he had just returned my $2,000, I would be sitting in a rainy apartment in the city. But his greed bought my paradise. The moral of the story is simple. Document everything. Take pictures when you move in. Take pictures when you move out. And never, ever let a landlord bully you just because they own the building. Landlords rely on you being lazy. They rely on you not knowing your rights. They rely on you being too scared to go to court. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Mr. Henderson eventually sold that building. I heard he got tired of ungrateful tenants. I like to think I helped him into early retirement. If you enjoyed the story of justice served with a side of tropical sunshine, hit that like button. It really helps the channel.